They say good things come to those who wait, and we have waited a long time for this. This is the Suzuki Gixxer SF 250. A shot in the arm that the baby Gixxers desperately needed. A few more ponies. And you get 26 of those on this, along with 22.2 Newton meters of torque from the all-new 249cc oil-cooled engine, which has a single overhead camshaft. A simple compact engine to restrict the weight to just 161 kgs. That makes it 8 kgs lighter than the Duke 250. A colossal 19 kgs lighter than the Dominar 250. And you know what that means. This is easily among the fastest 250cc bikes that you can buy today. But more importantly, I like how it puts this power down. One of the main reasons why I love the baby Gixxers were how engaging they were despite making just 13 horses. And this one follows in the same vein with its 6-speed transmission beautifully meshed with the torque curve. Having said that, even though the gearbox is precise, I would have liked it to be a little more smooth. Other than that, I think the engine is fantastic. It's very peppy and responsive, and it revs very smoothly all the way to the red line. And this, despite the throttle action being unusually long. I mean, it takes a lot of effort to pull it to a stop. But to be fair, this is what also makes the power delivery that much more progressive and less intimidating for new riders. Another aspect which inspires a whole lot of confidence is the amazing front end. That has always been the hallmark of the baby Gixxers, and it continues to shine on the SF250 as well. The front end feels solid, allowing you to get the most out of the brakes, and is equally poised all the way through the corner, which is commendable considering its really taut 1345 mm wheelbase, which is the shortest in class after the SF's naked sibling, the Gixxer 250. So the only thing then which is stopping you from attacking corners is the position of the foot pegs. They are a little too front set and start grazing very quickly. The SF is not as roomy as, say, the R15 version 3. So to be able to lock my outside knee on the tank, I had to scoot all the way back onto the rear seat, the step rear seat, to be able to do so and feel confident going into corners. But I also feel this was a conscious choice by Suzuki to broaden the horizons of the SF from a track tool to an entry-level sports tourer. And you can see that approach in the more upright ergonomics as well, and the comfortable seats for the rider as well as the pillion, which are designed to help you get the most of the 125 km/h cruising speeds of the SF250. And although even the tank is just 12 liters, you're still looking at a decent range of 340 kilometers between fuel stops, which is not bad at all. But the bigger engine and the extra ponies have also brought along more vibrations. You can feel the engine getting livelier from just 7,000 RPM in the lower gears. Well, luckily, the engine does settle down in the higher gears and doesn't feel as buzzy provided you keep it under the 9,000 RPM mark. Another incentive for you not to breach that threshold is the short windscreen, which doesn't really offer much wind protection above 120 km/h. On the lower end of the spectrum, you'll appreciate its low 800 mm seat height as well as the heat management, which is really good thanks to the oil cooling as well as the design of the fairing, which helps divert air onto the engine and keep the temperature in check. But what I did miss was the slip and assist clutch in the city, which would make it a lot easier to operate in stop-go traffic. The ride quality is a little on the stiffer side, which is why it shines here, but you can easily tweak it as per your weight by adjusting the rear preload. And you also have a solid 165 mm of ground clearance, which will help you scale the tallest of speed breakers without breaking a sweat. Which brings us to the verdict. Among the current crop of 250cc motorcycles, I think this is by far the best looking, especially in this MotoGP livery, and is also the most engaging. Which is also the reason why I wish that it had riding ergonomics which would complement its excellent riding dynamics. You know, if the clip-ons were a little lower set, the foot pegs were rear set, had a flatter seat and with stickier tires, I think this can eclipse everything in this class. And this would also be a factor which would help the SF250 stand out like the baby Gixxers did. Right now in stock trim, it does everything well, but nothing really exceptional. But to be fair, if I had to choose a motorcycle in this class, this would be the one I pick, despite its 1.78 lakh price tag, which is slightly on the higher side, especially compared to the FZ25. But I feel I would still buy this mainly for the potential it packs and of course the way it looks.